Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 282 of the Defining Discipline podcast, day 282 as well of my journey. At the beginning of the year, I challenged myself to run 365 days in a row, all outside, bearing the elements, whatever they may bring. I also challenged myself to run 1,500 miles within this time frame. And I've also challenged myself to run 2 big races within this time frame. One of those races that I had finished already. I finished it on day 156, June 5th. It was a 50K ultra marathon trail race. That was the Yankee Springs Trail Race. It was a 31-mile race out in the trails in Middleville, Michigan. Got that done in 7 hours, 15 minutes, and 22 seconds. Now, the next big race coming up within this time frame is the Detroit Free Press Marathon. That is coming up here in 8 days. And I'm doing the Motor City Challenge of that race, which entails me running the competitive 1 mile and the competitive 5K the day before the actual marathon. And that's coming up in 7 days. So we're right here on the cusp of the next race. This is day 282 in a row of running. Let's talk miles. So for the day today, since we were kind of in the taper, I put in 3.5 miles for the day. Been doing it all week, keeping it at the same exact run every day. That put me at 21.3 miles for the week, which put me at 40.5 miles for the month, which put me at 1,284.4 miles for the year. Let's quickly focus in on these monthly miles of 40.5. Every single month I challenge myself to a 100-mile challenge, and I do it in honor of a charity in which I try to I donate money to, as well as I try to raise money and awareness for that charity by starting coinciding fundraiser for that charity throughout that month. So for the first 9 months, we raised money for 9 great charities. We're able to hit the 100-mile challenge for every single month. Now we're here in the 10th month, the month of October, and we're raising money for yet another great charity. The month of October's 100-mile challenge is in honor of Michigan Humane, and I chose that fundraiser for this month because October is Adopt a Shelter Dog month, and dogs are a huge part of my life, and I love dogs, so I want to give back to the local shelter here throughout the state of Michigan. They do a great job, and I'd like to try to raise some money and awareness for them this month. I do know it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I was going to do a fundraiser for that as well, but I chose this other one too. I just wanted to get that point across because at the beginning of the year we did another cancer one, and I wanted to try to do a little bit something different for the month of October. So other than that, we can kind of get into today's episode, and but quickly before we do that, we are going to do the word of the day. So today's word of the day is fret. Fret means to become worried or concerned. That is today's word of the day, fret. Now let's get into today's actual episode. So for today, episode 282, we're kind of going to do a little play on the numbers here, 282, and it's going to be reflection. So for the day today, speaking of reflection, that's kind of what I've been doing, this past week, and especially, today and every day is getting closer and closer to the race. The more and more reflection I have kind of been doing, mentally kind of been reflecting on previous runs I've done, previous races I've done, even looking back to the 50K that I've done, knowing in the back of my head, this is gonna get done. We're gonna get this. We're gonna be able to run this race and run the following day after, and I'm just kind of reflecting on previous times that I've had, and I'm reflecting on what it's going to be like this, building up this week, and then racing the day before, doing the mile and the 5K, then to get up and do the actual marathon. So I'm just kind of reflecting on my thoughts and reflecting on, some previous runs, like I said, trying to really get in the mindset and get prepared and get ready for this race. I'm trying to, um, like I said, really reflect. So when I go into this race, my mind is clear, my mind is set, I'm focused, I know what I need to do, I know when or if a problem arises, how to react to it, what I need to do. Um, of course, there's going to be lots of nerves building up, um, and there always is. I know it doesn't even have to be for a race or anything like that. Anytime I get on a flight or anything where there's a time I have to be somewhere, there's a lot of nerves that build up just on me being on time, things like that. So there's all of this stuff that's going on. So I'm trying to, like I said, spend this next, especially today. Um, I have been today, but every day I think it's going to be more and more and more. I'm going to try to be, reflect more and more. Just really, think about some things in my head and try to sit back and get right into the proper mindset. So that is the goal, and that is what I've been kind of doing. And like I said, every day I'm reflecting a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, because trying to build up for this race, trying to really get in the correct mindset. So, on another note of reflecting, reflecting has done a lot for me throughout these past few years. If it wasn't for me to really sit back and reflect on my life and think about, where I am, where I was going, where I was heading, where I wanted to go, and where I wanted to head. And that wouldn't have came without, truly sitting back and reflecting. It was something that I was avoiding doing for a long time, was actually reflecting on those questions. And it wasn't until I faced and started to reflect on that I was able to really find a good direction to head into. So, speaking of that, we're going to get ready to close today's episode out. It's going to be a little bit shorter than normal, but for that reason, your daily discipline for the day today, day 282, just to reflect. It is to, think about your reflection. Sit down in a reflection. Really think about what it is you need to do, and what it is, where you want to go, and what it is you need to do to get there, and what it is you're doing, and where you're actually truly heading, and how you might need to shift in a different direction in order to get to where you truly want to go. And again, that's going to come with reflection. So for your daily discipline today, it is to sit down and reflect on those decisions, and also kind of reflect on where you've been and how far you've came, and reflect on past experiences and how you can use them within the future to really help you get through and find strength. So that is your daily discipline for the day today. Other than that, guys, I truly want to thank you so much for following along and listening. It's been such an amazing journey and an amazing time here throughout this year. So many different high points throughout this year, and low points, and just emotions, and just in general, it's been so crazy and insane to truly think about it, that I've ran this many days in a row to begin with, but that I followed through with posts and with episodes, and just being able to still get out there and enjoy life. I think that was one of the biggest things that a lot of people, including myself, kind of doubted, was that putting in all this time running and all this was going to actually kind of take away from a lot of outside life. While it has here and there, I've still been able to really fit in a lot of cool things to get done, and it all becomes with a more disciplined and disciplined lifestyle. More things kind of open up for possibilities to arise, and they're really fun. And I'm so glad that this year has gone the way it has so far, and just very, very grateful and thankful. So, again, thank you so much for following along and listening. This is episode 282 in a row, day 282. If you guys can, please give the podcast a like, subscribe, follow, share on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and whatever podcast streaming platform you've been following along and listening on. Other than that, thanks. I'll see you guys tomorrow for episode 283. And until then, stay disciplined. Get your daily discipline done. If you guys can, get your donations in for October's fundraiser. And I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.